Hello, everyone, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds and session 3, I don't have that corrected, of this limited series. My name is Anya, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be your storyteller for this game of Into the Black, a Serenity RPG. And as always, if you haven't seen the Firefly TV show, think cowboys in space set 500 years in the future, a few years after a major war happened. So down the line from me, let's reverse things. Let's go in opposite order this time. Zev, you go first.
Things being flipped on their head make me nervous. Hi, everybody. I'm Zev. I play Tenzin Tamang, the pilot of this wonderful ship.
Mm-hmm. And how does Tenzin feel after a very successful gravity whip last time?
I'm awesome. The sun from my rear shines.
Okay, and then Mica, you're next.
Hi, I'm Mica, pronounced she, her, and I am playing Angie Zhang, the foul-mouthed former Purple Belly Special Forces Marine turned engineer and bodyguard.
Excellent. Next is Emma. I almost said Echo, which accurate, but still.
Choosing characters with the same first letter of the first name as you, it'll happen. Yeah. Hello, I am Emma, she, her pronouns. I am playing Echo, he, they pronouns. Young, stressed, very new to the ship. Remembered to safely seatbelt in for once during the very cool gravity warp, and we're all so proud.
Mm-hmm. Indeed we are. Rah, your turn.
Oh, hey, I'm Rora. Hi. He, they. I'm playing Landon Cornflower, who's also a he, they. And what's a thing about him? He hopes one day to fly. That could mean the ship. That could be something else, but I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, let's get a little catapult action in there. Okay, and then finally, last but not least, Janie.
I am Janie. I am playing Jude.
Hey, Jude.
And the captain.
And pronouns?
She, they, I think.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So before we begin, does anyone want to spend any of their advancement points to improve their skills or specialties? Okay, Landon, what are you doing?
Well, since I refuse to spend plot points, I have 8 in the advancement. I'm going to add a D4 to ranged weapons. We'll give it a D4. So that'll cost 6 of those points.
Correct, because you have to do the D2 and then the D4, so that brings you to 6 advancement points spent. Now, Landon, what are you doing here on your own, trying to figure out how to use ranged weapons without anyone else knowing?
I think those very specific electromagnetic toys I bought. I think I'm probably just going over it again and again and again by myself, like taking it apart, looking at it, maybe going and inquiring Angie, like, those bombs I gave you, have you ever set those off? And sort of gather information. So it probably wouldn't give him a huge range of ranged weapon knowledge, but he really wants to know how to use these if it's necessary.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, based off of your description, hold please.
Yes.
You don't have any mechanical engineering.
No, I don't.
And you say you're taking these things apart.
I'd hope with some wisdom.
I'm going to say I want you to roll straight intelligence for me.
Oh my. All right.
To start with.
That is a D8.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 6.
A 6. Okay. Do you want to spend a plot point to bring that to a 7?
Never.
Then in that case, you get about halfway through deconstructing one of these, and you look at it and you realize you have no idea how to put it back together again.
Oh, it's like my
apart
life.
is easy. Taking things apart is easy. Putting them back together again is the true challenge. So you currently have one of these EMPs that is not fully functional, but with time, you have about 6 days. You might be able to figure out how to put it back together again, or not. We'll see.
I think it's maybe I shouldn't have given Angie 6 of them.
But so you now have 4 in ranged weapons. So I'm just going to add that to my.
I've added the weapons both of the
You're
last
welcome to
sessions.
ask,
That's
Angie.
weird.
You're
Weird
welcome
and
to
curious.
ask Angie at any point to help you put things back together.
Up to you if you want to do that.
He'll probably stall a little, try to figure out why he would tell Angie it was taken apart.
Uh-huh. Okay. We can leave that for now. I believe, Jude, your hand was raised as well. You wanted to spend some advancement points?
Yes. Since my crew seems to be up to so much, I
Mm-hmm.
want investment points on maybe just kind of saving everything around me a little bit better so they can't pull one over on me again.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. That was a little bit muffled for me. Say it again.
Pull one over on me again, or
Oh, okay. So this would be something with perception in that case. You already have a D6 in perception. How many advancement points do you have?
How many last time?
So at the beginning of every session, you get 6 plot points. Any that you don't spend in that session become advancement points. So you're in charge of keeping track of all of your advancement points.
I believe I have either, I'm going to say 9 because I'm not sure about one of them.
Okay. So in that case, and just keep track of it for the future then. You have 9. You need 8 to get a specialty in perception. And, oh yes, and you had a few of them. What were they? I didn't write those down.
Tactics and hearing.
Right. And hearing. Okay. And those are both D8s. So if you wanted to do intuition, for example, that would be a really good one to sussing out if your crew are trying to rebel against you.
Yeah, intuition.
Okay. So what are you doing to kind of focus and hone in more on your intuition of people?
I think I'm just going to go into like the mess area
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of meditate for a while.
Okay. You gonna open up your mind a little bit?
Yeah, which looks like me sitting on a table just spaced out.
Amazing. So I'm not going to make you roll for it, but just for flavor, you're using your reader asset here to kind of observe what people are doing around you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Is anyone else spending advancement points?
I think I might.
Okay, a lot of people are doing it. Perfect. Let's start with Mica and then Tenzin. Sorry, yeah. Angie and then Tenzin.
It just occurred to me that Angie doesn't actually have any melee weapon combat, and she's just been given this knife that's very concealable. So I think she's going to take that as like a silent, wordless sign from Jude that she probably is going to have to avoid using any guns on this mission. It's meant to be a subtle mission. So she's going to spend a lot of time when she's like in the engine room, not doing anything else, just like practicing with the knife and trying to remember her basic training from when that was the sort of thing she did.
Yeah. Okay. And so how many plot points do you want to spend here?
I'm going to spend 6 to get it.
Okay, you, through your practice, now have a D4 in melee weapon combat. Very cool. Tenzin,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Nothing chaotic at all.
Are you sure about that? I don't trust you.
Ouch. I would like to increase my pilot.
Okay. Well, pilot itself has the skill. You have a D6 in, so that's done, but you can specialize. So,
good.
yeah, so you'll need at least 8 plot points
I have
to be able to do
11.
another. Perfect. So you have some examples here. Aerial navigation, astronomy, astrophysics, space survival, gunships, hang gliders, helicopters, large cruisers, mid-bulk transports, patrol vessels, rocket shuttles, etc.
Well,
So you
I
can
have
specialize into specific things, or if you have a different thing that you want to do. Feel
Like
free.
slingshotting?
well, I have a specialty in astrogation.
Yes, you have that already, so I skipped that one.
I was wondering if I could increase that dice.
No, you would need 12 advancement points for that.
Darn it.
Because you have a D10 in it currently.
Okay. And I can't increase the D6 for pilot.
No, it's just specializing from there. So, for example, the Firefly ship that you're flying is a mid-bulk transport. So, if you wanted to be able to fly it better, and that would be for within Atmo and things like that, not like astrogation is specifically how do I get from point A to point B when both of them are moving.
But specializing in mid-bulk transports is just across the board, flatly better. Yeah. Gimme.
Okay, so you now have a D8 in mid-bulk transport.
Okie dokie. And that cost 8
advancement points.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I am a happy potato.
Is there anything specific Tenzin is doing while he's in the bridge, like to get this specialty up?
Running the Screaming Firehawk through its maneuvers, engine rotations, simulating crash stops, but in vacuum. Just kind of doing some fancy to semi-fancy maneuvering just to make sure he understands what the tolerances are of this particular bucket of rust.
Okay. Well, perfect. So, Echo, are you doing any advancement point spending or no?
I think Echo is not doing any advancement point spending for the moment. I think I'll be the exception, to the rule here.
Okay. Well, in that case, Echo, the comm in your pocket buzzes with a wave.
Echo, depending on where he is, goes back to the med bay and shuts the door before taking it out and looking at it.
You look at your comm and there's an audio message there.
Oh no. Turns the volume down to the lowest possible setting where you can still hear it, but it's not quite off, and then hits play.
What do you think you're doing? This is unacceptable. You dare to do this to me? Get home this instant, and maybe I won't press charges for your interference in my affairs. Message ends.
Buried?
Echo looks at the message thread, types in no with a period, and sends it and closes the phone.
The comm almost immediately buzzes with another voice message.
Oh, I want so badly to ignore it. Oh, I want so badly not to listen to it. I think Echo gives it like 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
before picking that one up.
And it's not from him. It's from her. What is this we're hearing from your uncle? Now really, Escalus, what in the verse were you thinking running off like that? Get back to him this instant and fix this nonsense right away. I have more important things to do than hare after you. You know how busy my schedule is.
Then pauses the message, turns it down, and then turns the phone off again and puts it deep in the pocket that time.
Do you actually turn it off this time?
I think this time I actually turn it off.
Okay.
Echo like puts his head down on the desk for several minutes. Oh God. Oh, I was hoping they wouldn't tell her. Okay. Well, whatever. And he goes back to, he's taken the stars that Jude gave him, and they're starting to kind of fill out a like constellation map on the wall, and spends an hour doing that, a little on the side of frantic, just trying to get his mind off things, and it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll shift now out to a time when all of you gather around in the galley, around a meal, we'll say, the evening meal. So you're all gathered around the table here, and you know that you're about 6 days out from reaching Ariel, with roughly a week to spare after that before the El Dorado is scheduled to take off, thanks to a certain pilot's daredevil death-defying gravity whip trick. But you're all gathered around the table knowing that you need to actually have a plan in place here, whether it be trying to sneak onto the ship as performers, crew members, stowaways, or if you want to go the more legal route, you can always book rooms on the El Dorado. There are options. So, hey, Jude. Are you taking charge of this meeting? What do you think?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to watch them.
Okay. So, who's taking charge then? It's up to you.
Angie's going to take charge, but mainly in a sort of, so how are we actually going to do this job then? While flicking the knife menacingly between her fingers.
Well, I guess my first question is, how are we getting onto the ship? Given that Tenzin, I think you've mentioned something about theoretically being able to, find it mid-flight, but that seems...
Oh, there's nothing theoretical about it. I can absolutely get you on that ship mid-transit, no problem. Get you off it too.
Okay.
If we're wandering about on that ship, we're going to start asking questions, aren't they? At least some of us should have some reason to be on there.
That is true.
I guess our earliest decision would be, do we want to try to get on it on the planet or once it's in transit? Because then we can form a whole plan around that. I kind of agree with Tenzin. Then we don't have to deal with an entire world of threats. We just have to get on one ship. That's not too hard.
I will point out, just as a side note, splitting the party in Serenity is the ultimate form of splitting the party. Because you are on completely different spacecraft. Just gonna put that out there.
Then we have 2 spacecrafts and we are an armada.
How many spacecraft does it take to make an armada? And the answer is at least 2, if not more.
So.
How many spacecraft could a spacecraft craft if a spacecraft could craft space?
Oh, no.
He's right. And we need to take this into account.
No, don't ask math questions, not here.
But no, I look, I can get you guys onto the ship. That's easy. But, and she's right. Can't believe I'm saying that, but and she's right that it does simplify things a little bit if at least some of us look like we are supposed to be there.
How much are the tickets?
So
I don't
that's
want
a
to
quick
answer that question.
that's a quick check on the cortex. It's
Again, when it's not
for
price
the
surgery.
so for the suites, of which there are 3, there's only one left, and it is 450 credits per person. And a double cabin per person. There's still a dozen or so left. Those are 150 credits per person.
Double cabin.
That's honestly not that bad price-wise.
Tenzin's voice goes up a couple octaves.
It's like
I mean,
40
it's
bowls
a-
of soup.
It's
Well,
a luxury
it's-
cruise. It could be four-digit credits. I feel like it's impressive that it's only 3.
Well, look at
Just
Mr.
saying.
Moneybags over there.
Well, I think we know who is going to go the look at me, I belong here route.
To give you real world context, that's 3,750 per person US dollars.
Yeah, no thank you. Like, excuse me. Hell.
I've got some questions about getting onto that ship, Tenzin.
Okay.
If we are in front of them with our Maydays going out, do they need to stop to help us? That is my first question. Like, is there space law?
Law, not so much. Tradition, yes, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking, and I'd like to bring up kind of a image of the cruise ship.
Oh, you want to bring up an image of the cruise ship? Well, let me take a
Clear the
screenshot
table.
for
Let's pull
you.
out some paper. We have like pencils everywhere and maps, and then a little hologram thing in the middle.
Because this.
Well, so I will say, finding a picture of the actual, like the type of ship that is, that's no problem. Schematics are a different matter. So for
I already got
visual,
some base schematics, didn't I? So those are probably available. The ones that I got for the base ship.
That's true. I forgot that you had gotten those. So in that case,
So
let
between
me-
between the schematics and the externals, because I'm putting some big brain in my tiny head. I wasn't thinking of doing anything as simple as, oh no, look at us, we're having problems. Because
Oh, I've
first
got
off,
like
that's
8 plans.
First off, that's insulting. I would never let a ship I'm on get stranded in the middle of space. I was thinking of a mid-flight dock into one of their service shuttle bays.
With or without them knowing.
Well, that's the thing. So, if we have people going the normal above board, look at us, we bought tickets, then they
Set off a bomb.
I was just thinking they
hold on.
steal it. They do the steely. And then instead of having to hide for the entire rest of the cruise, I just swoop right in, pick you up, easy as harvesting apples. I've never harvested apples. How hard
Those
can
are
it
like
actually find?
$60 each.
We know nothing about the security on this ship. It could be pretty intense. There's a lot of rich people there, a lot of people with a lot of money. So
That is
that
my other
point-
concern, is that if we're not all, if only a few people are there trying to steal the amber statuette, I believe is what you've all told me, then if something goes wrong, which I'm sure it won't, but in the eventuality that something strangely does go wrong, we only have a few people that can help mitigate that.
Or Who goes on cruises? Old people. What are old people? Sick. So we will advertise Echo as like a faith healer extraordinaire and put their face really big on like things people can see. And we'll come to the cruise and offer to do a little like, hey, come meet our healer. They'll take care of all your aches and pains. And then we sneak on, we put an electric bomb somewhere, makes all the lights go off. We steal the thing, we leave, and then they're fine.
Landon, this isn't some podunk planet round the red sun. Most folks in the Corps don't believe in faith healers or anything like that.
That's why we wait till the cruise leaves.
Wait, hold on.
Echo, we're going to make you famous.
Echo has immediately gotten several degrees more stressed and is not hiding it particularly well.
Or you could stay on the ship with me.
That is fair. I will say, much as that seems like a reasonable plan, full disclosure, I don't technically have a medical license. I promise I have all of the experience of one. I don't have the qualification, though, so anything that would involve advertising me might not stand up to scrutiny.
We'll say it's like homeopathic. You can hold up some rocks. It'll sell big.
On the list of medical equipment I've used, I do have to promise you rocks are very far down. They're not off the list, but they're just really far down.
We'll get rocks.
I do feel that Landon might be right about something, at least. Echo seems to have the patter down for, hanging out with these sort of rich hoi polloi types.
And a face for stardom.
That is fair. I'm not always the best in social situations, so I do worry that if we put all of that focus on me, it might cause some problems. But
obviously we're sending Landon with you.
What?
That does make me immediately less concerned, I will say.
That seems wise, like just with with everything we know about each other, that just seems like a wise idea. I think we should all go if we are legitimately able to get on the ship. If we're having to be a little more sneaky, we should split the party into like 3, 4, 5 different pieces.
I mean, really, I'd like to go and keep an eye on everyone, but there's a slight problem. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but you won't find me on any Cortex database. And that makes me suspicious in the Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Tenson raises his hand. Please tell me that doesn't mean you're staying on the ship with me.
Someone's got to make sure you don't blow this thing to pieces without any supervision.
Detonate my baby? I would never.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
I will note that in the search of, how many cabins are left, things like that, you do also know that there is one more shuttle spot available.
Oh, as in people... I like that the immediate thought that I had was people bringing their cars on a ferry.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Is that the correct comparison for me to make here? Is people bringing their cars on the ferry to take them across?
Ferry, absolutely.
How much is a shuttle spot?
A shuttle spot would be in total about 600 credits. But that isn't per person.
Just for the one ship total?
Just for the one ship total.
We have a shuttle.
I mean, we almost have that much in gas money that we'd be saving by not flying ourselves.
That seems like it could be a good way to... That gives us the option to both be there legitimately, which... I'm a fan of starting with because, why not try to slip under the radar? If we can't, then we can't, but we might as well try. But then we also have the ability, if we really need to potentially get out of town with expediency.
And people can still stay on the ship without being, miles away.
Exactly, and everyone can stay on the ship.
Or we could all dress up. We could be a band if Echo didn't want to be a famous healer. Maybe more of a singer, a cappella drummer. They usually need musical performances on cruises.
Acapella drummer?
Yeah, like
And like that Landon made no noise whatsoever while doing that.
keeping the beat in your heart alone.
oh man, trying to hold the face straight.
You all have the outfits that I bought you?
Yes,
Yes.
I got mine on hand.
you just got a glove.
I just didn't know you were expecting me to wear it.
I don't know. Oh, there goes Anya. She's moving. Okay.
Oh no. I'm still here.
What are you thinking, Captain?
Get a shuttle and we go.
I mean, we've got the money and resources from our first mission, I believe. I don't think anyone would even have to put in personal money.
If we do acquire the shuttle space, and I'm thinking about this because of what you mentioned, Angie, but whose name are we booking it under? And should we keep that in mind, given that that would probably be the person that would be the first lead if we get accused of thievery after we do a thievery?
Probably the captain's name, if we weren't going with, making Echo famous.
I mean, I still think Echo should be our front person. I mean, you talk all proper like.
Thank you. I will be completely honest. I'm a little concerned that if I'm the only front person, that I might get in trouble or be recognized or any other number of unfortunate things. So me and Landon seems
Recognized because of your healing career?
Yes, that because of that. Yes.
I'd like
That's
to
the
deduce them, if I may.
Yeah, no, like even Tenzin is like, wait a second, something weird is going. Can I?
And try not to read too far into it, but it's just the wait, distraction. I have a D8 in deduction and a D6 in perception.
Yeah, so intuition is a specialty under perception, but
Oh, I have a reading skill, actually.
you do have a reading skill.
+2 to alert when observing someone, discerning truth or understanding something else.
I'm sitting directly across from you, like 10 feet away.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say deduction and alertness. And for Tenzin, it would just be perception, straight perception and alertness.
Okie dokie
Would
dokie.
my D6 in alertness go up to a D10 because of reading? Is that what the 2 works? Awesome.
Yeah, correct.
I got an 8.
I
You
Again.
got an 8. Okay.
I got a 16. I've been rolling
Amazing.
bad this whole game. I'm stoked.
I love it. That beats a formidable.
That's terrifying.
Hey, Echo.
Hi.
What would you like to roll here?
What a great question.
Uh-huh.
You know, when I picked my skills, I looked at the option to pick deception or lying skills, and I made the conscious choice to not pick those. It was a whole conversation I had with myself. I've got persuasion under influence, and I've got intuition under perception, and I've got stealth, which isn't meant in social situations necessarily. It's just under covert, but I do have stealth.
If this would help you decide, I don't think he's overly thinking anything sinister is going on. He's more just like, hey, what was that? Like, do you have an old boyfriend? He's not really thinking, oh, they're trying to, trap everyone and lie.
I feel like stealth would be my thought, less for just for playing that off as a thing I said in the middle of a sentence.
Okay, so I would say stealth and willpower, with the full knowledge for you that you cannot beat Landon's 16 without spending plot points.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, you can beat me.
Landon was built for like one thing.
Let's see how that goes. That's a 10.
Okay, Tenzin, no idea. Landon, you definitely get the sense that there's something there that Echo isn't telling y'all.
That's fine. Join the party.
Okay, what if we just have Tenzin be the person? You have the best idea of all of us.
Yeah. Tenzin and Angie, I think, could actually pass as like, sorry if that's too much, but like maybe a honeymoon cruise. We could be like your staff.
Tenzin ducks behind the counter in the kitchen.
Echo's sinking slowly down into their seat, just kind of holding up their computer.
Oh, not Angie can't do that.
The only issue with Tenzin being in the ship is if we need to book it, none of us, well, I guess we can fly a little.
Tenzin, I suspect you don't want us to fly the ship if we had to.
Identity, Landon.
What's my identity?
Let's use you as the front person.
Oh yeah, I can tell him I'm Landon Cornflower just fine. I'm a certified spiritual person.
You're certainly certified.
See? Seconded.
There's just a choked snort from behind the counter where Tenzin is still hiding.
I will need someone to go with me though, whether that's Echo, Tenzin Captain, or Angie. I'm meant for strength and just brawn. I'm not quick on my feet when it comes to thinking on words.
Well, my ID won't hold up too well under scrutiny, so it's going to be somebody else.
Right.
I'm gonna go find my ID real quick.
And I will note, you're going to be on Ariel for around a week-ish before the Eldorado sets off. And so if you needed to get, say, forged IDs or something like that, they're pricey, but maybe you could do something like that.
You could even be
For one person,
hiring
at least.
for extra hands on deck or something like that. Who knows?
They're hiring security. I'm sure I can make a pretty good show of it, but I will need false ID for that. You understand?
Tenzin, you could drive that ship. You could drive that giant ship, maybe, Tenzin. You could whip it.
So Jude's going to show you all her ID. And this is terrible.
The drone with Crayon.
Oh no.
Oh, I can get you one. I probably have a couple that might work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back to my room and you would just see him flipping through a whole pile of like passport type IDs.
Do you have like a book? Do you have like a book that's just you open it and it's a billfold of identifying documents?
It's like that the first Jason Bourne movie pulls out, it's just gun, passport, money.
I find one of a name tag named like Judd. And I'm like, oh, this will be easy.
Yeah, I want to say the one that Jude currently has is the equivalent of the McLovin ID.
Yeah, she paid for a fake ID. It just wasn't worth the money.
So the way that I'm hearing it right now, it sounds like we get the shuttle space, possibly Landon specifically under your name, so that we have access to the Halo and somewhere that everyone can stay. And then we spend that week trying to figure out false IDs, if any of us can get on under alternate jobs. Possibly we could also, if we're getting there early, should we be doing some research about these items and the auction and where they're getting kept? Because the more we know before we get on that ship, the better.
Maybe
In my
we'll end up
opinion.
getting it before it even gets itself on the ship. Then we can just take a cruise for fun.
You're definitely right there, Echo. We've got the time, we should take our time. It's not really my speciality, but I reckon we find out as much as we can once we get to Ariel. And if it comes down to it, we don't need to second guess ourselves about staffing or whatever. We can always make an opportunity. Find out who's already crewing the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can make sure they're short a few hands.
Tenzin pokes his head up over the counter. That sounds dangerous. Head goes back down.
You know how many snacks there are down on Ariel, Tenzin? They've got who's its, they've got what's its galore.
But they're expensive.
You want a thingamabob? I'll buy you 20. But we just have to get down there to the land.
I feel like you're referring to something and I don't know what it is.
Ariel? Sorry, it's a Little Mermaid song.
The
But
planet, yes.
so I guess our first part of the plan would just be getting to that planet, which is a couple days of almost a week of travel.
Around 5 days, 5 or 6 days to go until you get there.
Unless Tenzin can pull a Tenzin.
There are no more planets to whip around until you get to Ariel.
Can we make a planet appear out of thin air? And the answer is, I don't think we can roll for that.
Can we go a different direction out of our way, find a planet? And
So go to Ariel, find somewhere to land and scope things out, and right now get ourselves cruise shuttle tickets.
so we can get one of the ferry spaceship positions. What do you think, Captain? We want to run everything by you.
That has my approval.
I want to give Angie a mug I made her out of really bad clay, and it just says Angie's Finest. I thought of you.
Thanks for this work of art.
I almost took a D4 in craft, and then I decided I needed bombs.
Do you have any luck with that EMP grenade you were working on?
Halfway? I'll show it to you later. It was pretty easy to take it apart.
Are you going to make me cry, Landon?
I'm not going to read anything to you. We can just talk about machines.
To
Ariel, I guess. Are we all voting? Do we vote, Captain? Are we allowed to vote?
I mean, we're going anyway.
Who wants to go anyway? That's 2. Guess we're not going.
Yeah, no, we
You seem to be under the mistaken impression that this is a democracy, Landon. Angie, what we're doing? Angie? Sorry. Dude, what we're doing?
this is a Jude offer. And we're going. Tenzin, can you start us to Ariel, please?
Sure thing, Skip. Pops up and hustles out of the cockpit, out of the dining area into the cockpit.
Mm-hmm. So heading from the galley to the bridge.
Yes.
Those words. It's hard to remember all of these things. But anyway, so you've all decided to book that last shuttle space in that case. Okay, so 600 credits. And Landon Cornflower, your name is on the docket. Do you put anyone else's name on that list?
Does it ask?
It
Like-
has space for multiple names.
I'll put in emergency
Mhm.
contact. No, don't worry about it.
And it also does have things like, will you be participating in the poker tournament? Poker tournament attendees can participate for free. Their room and board is paid for, and you just have to participate and pay 400 credits. So
Yes.
Free.
Yes, somebody from my ship will be participating in this tournament.
So you have 1,000 credits to spend?
No. But how much would the ship get us if we bet our ship? I think to myself while filling out the paperwork.
Somewhere elsewhere in the cockpit, Tenzin suddenly starts feeling very stressed.
All the bobbleheads just start stress bobbling.
I bet you the captain's real good at cards. It'd probably be a for sure thing. Make a lot of money.
We should definitely bet our stolen ship.
It's better to bet than betting one we paid for, isn't it?
It's our legitimate salvage ship.
Nah, I'll talk to the crew about the tournament, but it doesn't appear like we have the funds at the moment, unless we all combine our money, I believe.
Yeah.
Our ship funds.
You would have that written down, not me. I gave you the number at the beginning.
We had 400 for gas, and then each of us had 200 and something.
300 at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how much I told you for the ship funds. Whoever's in charge of that is in charge of that. It's out of my hands.
Yeah. But we have at least 400 plus 300 times 5.
I only have 260 because I started dead broke and then stole some.
Yep.
Do I have the number we have in the ship fund? I'm double checking if I have that info off the top of my head.
That's all right. Yeah, and some other minor information that would pop up as you're, registering for the shuttle spot is like about the Toker. I flipped.
Are you telling me there's a Toka tournament? Because that's a different story.
Poker tournament. The poker tournament is on days 4 to 6 of the cruise. On day 6, after the poker tournament is over, is when they'll be arriving at Bellerophon. 2 days. There will be 2 days where they will be at a resort town for non-residents in Bellerophon to fuel up, and then they'll be making the return trip back to Ariel. So you have this full schedule and everything. And you also get a little bit of a view of, there are going to be companions aboard. There will be a theater with live performances going on all the time. If anyone wishes to, the casino rooms are available outside of tournament times for all different sorts of games. There will be a constant table of brown coats versus purple bellies, which they don't really like the name fully, but that's the name that is colloquially given, so they've accepted it.
Are there any other sort of events that I could imagine my party being very good at? Like, is there any sort of little bumper car races Tenzin would just nail? Any wrestling? Public surgery? I don't know.
This is not that kind of cruise.
Then I guess I won't sign everyone up for events.
I could put 200 towards the poker tournament if someone else wants to help me out.
Well, I can put 259 towards whatever. That'll leave me with 1. Tenzin, are you good at poker?
Good math.
Poker.
Tenzin, you're overconfident. Are you good at poker?
You could bet the ship, Tenzin.
No one's better than me at poker.
You should always buy a dinner before you poker.
I have the best poker face.
Tenzin, I'm better than you at poker.
Ooh.
Harsh, Skip. Harsh.
Gonna have a poke off.
She's got a pretty good. Why do I keep calling you? Jude's got a pretty good knack for figuring people out. Me, I can count cards, but poker's not my game.
I could make a big distraction happen in the middle of the tournament. That'd probably be as good as I could do.
I can bluff. Come on. Come on, Cat. It's shiny. Think of all the credits that could win us.
We should get the like 7-day travel first, and then maybe we should micromanage our like ride bracelets and stuff for while we're there. Because who knows if we even get there.
Of course we're going to get there. It'll be fine.
Could all be a Anya trick, is what I'm saying above table. We're about to run into Reavers.
It'll be
Why would I
fine.
ever trick you?
There's nothing to fear as long as I'm here.
Lies and deceit.
So are you guys registering someone for the poker tournament? I will note something that I didn't say is the auction itself is happening in the second half of the trip because, of course, they need to have multiple things happening, but they don't want them to overlap. So, for example, if you wanted to, you could say rob the steal the statuette that you're there to steal while the poker tournament is going on, and then leave before you get to Bellerophon, or once you get to Bellerophon, just be like, oh yeah, we decided we're going to leave, bye. That's an example.
Could we
Oh,
enter the tournament
fine.
after we're already in the cruise, since it's not till
No.
day 4?
You can't, because that is a situation where the 400 credits are paid in advance, and then you get your own cabin, like one of the smaller ones, but you get your own cabin and you get all of your food and drink, like everything is paid for. You have to pay the 400 credits to get into it, but that's money in the pot.
How much is the prize?
The prize is 50,000 credits.
It's a lot of soup.
That's a lot of fuel.
Signing up
Lots
for
of lists.
credits. I'll split it with you all.
No, I'm down to contribute to. Can we just sign up like a ship slot? Do we have to decide which the player is yet?
You have to decide the
I think Tenzin says he's the best, but if Captain says they're better, then
Let me see that sign up sheet.
here you go, Captain.
Not let due to signing up for this poker tournament. Sorry, Tenzin.
Okay, Cap. Well, because look, you think you're better than me, so I'm gonna trust you with this. Tenzin's gonna give for the buy-in is gonna give all his credits.
Wait,
How much do you have?
I haven't touched the started credits. I have not touched a single credit. So
You should have like 500 and something, probably.
yeah,
I
you
would say, yeah.
join it. You could join it if you want to. You just be playing against me and you'll lose.
It's up to you. I will note, Tenzin, your bobbleheads probably cost you about 50 credits total. So those you would have had to pay for. So you have about 500 credits.
I've got about 500 credits.
I was going to ask,
very rare bobbleheads.
is there a world where both of you can each have a slot and just pay 400 apiece?
That's what Captain just said, but then they said Tenzin would lose to him.
But still, the more
Fighting
people
words.
that we
Fighting
have,
words. Tenzin
the better odds we have.
At the tournament.
I have 200 I'll happily contribute. As long as I don't have to play.
I probably shouldn't play, but I'll happily spectate, and I think you both should win.
Of course we're gonna win. I'm awesome, and the captain's the captain.
Yeah, to have, if we're going to do this route, to have more than one person, because it makes us look less suspicious if we're playing in a tournament versus just one.
Captain Jude, here's my 200 credits, and I'll give them all to you so you can have the big wad, basically. I kept 60. I hope that's okay.
No, how dare you keep some of your money?
Well, I mean, yeah, this time it's okay. Totally.
I think Landon's secretly very happy that all the tension was between the captain and Tenzin mostly for that planet flip when he was the one that's like, oh no, captain says it's fine, go ahead, back and forth. And he kind of stayed out of the shrapnel. So he's just anything the captain wants is fine.
Yeah, throw me under the bus. Let's see how quick I come to save your butt later.
No, I want both of you to play is what I would like if we have the money.
Captain, I'll give you whatever you need, but we should probably keep some money back. We might need to pay for bribes, ID, all sorts of stuff on Ariel.
If my math is being covered right in my brain, I think we've got enough I think you've each got enough currently for both of you to buy in?
Yeah.
Superb.
Let's go. We got like 5, 6. Oh, I guess we have to file all this remotely, probably.
Yeah, all of this is happening remotely. Like you're doing the applications of like submitting everything. All of the credits are submitted digitally.
Do we need to scan their IDs if they're the person that's going to be in the tournament?
You look through, and the ID submission itself is at the cruise.
Good. You're all good, Captain.
So fake IDs on Ariel.
You put down, whatever
I don't
name
know
you
what
put
any
down,
of you are
Jude.
worried about. My ID is fine.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I'm overconfident. Not.
You sound so uncertain saying yes.
Do I need to roll intuition on that, or can I just tell?
I'm just a pilot.
I've got one with the name Kenzie. I mean, we could kind of switch that around, Tenzin.
Oh, look. It's a perfectly normal, like, perfectly standard ID.
You look taller.
Sus.
Anya, are we operating with some sort of fake transponder or something for our ship?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
You gotta be. Given that your ship is stolen and you don't have proper papers for it, and any Alliance cruiser that came by and decided to board would be like, say what now?
But I have insurance paperwork and everything. It's for a different ship, but I have it.
I love it. Beautiful. So, Jude and Tenzin, you are signed up for the poker tournament. That is all squared away. You each get your own private quarters on this cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
With that 400 credits that you've spent. It's not the fancy digs that someone here knows 2 people have, but they are still much bigger than your crew quarters on this ship. Let's see. Also, Jude, after all is said and done, probably a day or 2 down the line, you get a little notification on the ship's credits account where 1,000 credits have been deposited anonymously with a note that just says, enjoy the cruise.
I like track this down some kind of way.
Huh?
Can I track down who gave us these credits? Because I'm suspicious.
Let
Star
me
69 list.
Let me see what you have. Oh goodness, character sheets abound. Hi, Jude.
Is the captain going to give us our money back, or do you think they're just not going to tell us?
So your covert is a D4, and your intelligence is a D10. This would be an incredible success to actually track down. Which is 23 points for those who don't have the character sheet in front of them.
And wait, I have a D10 and a D6.
And a D4. Your covert's a D4 on mine.
What does using a plot point add?
That adds a D2. 2 plot points adds a D4. 3 plot points adds a D6. So 14. You would need to cover 9 more points, and you would need to max out if you're going on the lower end of things.
Over the loudspeaker, over the comms, I'm going to be like, which one of you is good at figuring covert stuff out?
I'm real good at sneaking. Kinda.
I'm not the worst. I'm also not the best, but I'm not the worst.
Okay, so we got 1,000 credits.
Oh?
Yeah, we gave you the money yesterday.
I don't know where it came from. This is in addition to what you gave. Can we figure this out before I give you all your money back?
You just got 1,000 credits and from somebody?
Anonymous.
Oh. I'm seeing why you're asking about figuring things out covertly. That makes sense. I can come help take a look for whatever that's worth.
You and Landon.
Maybe they were pre-buying tickets for Echo's healing event. I maybe put out a little bit of some feelers before we had our meeting, so there could be some folks looking for that.
Good to know. You know, maybe when advertising it, Echo, totally fine. Maybe we can come up with some fun cover art that's not my face or a photograph of me.
I pretend to trip and fall, and then, oh, sorry, guess we should go see the captain.
Amazing. Yeah. So, Captain, where are you when you get this notification? Where would you say?
Well, I was in my little hole in the wall, but
Mm-hmm.
to fit everybody inside of there to figure this out.
Wow.
So I'll go to like the galley, I guess.
Okay. So Landon, Echo, and Jude, you convene at the galley at the table there, and yeah, you see that on Jude's comm system, you see that 1,000 credits have been deposited into the ship's account.
Landon's a little downtrodden because he didn't get a post-it on his door this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,000 credits is cool, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Money's fine. Have you ever tried to post it? Well, it seems like good luck, Captain. Do we have any unpaid jobs out there that we were waiting on? Anything like that?
Did it come with a message?
Yeah.
It says, yeah, enjoy the cruise.
Oh, they comped us some. That's nice. They probably know we'll use it at the casino.
Huh. No chance this is from the person hiring us in the first place, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't get their name.
I'm just thinking about, theoretically, the only people that should know we're going now are the crew's under assumed names and our mysterious friend who knows more.
I think Landon's going to suddenly perk up and start searching for a bug. Somebody's listening, like somebody's tracking us. Weird, suspicious superstitiousness comes over him, and I'm going to start in the back and work forward. Like, how are they tracking us? Something in here giving away our position.
Are you going to use your superstitious?
Well, all it does is give me a -2 to actions chosen by the GM, or a +2 to actions chosen by the GM if it's a good omen.
Well, this is not a good omen.
No, we've got bugs. And in space, bugs are the worst.
Yep.
Can't shoot them outside.
That is A -2, not a -2 step. So I'm going to say, because that is a significant difference, I'm going to say that this is an alertness. So you'll be subtracting 2 from that. Alertness and perception. Yeah, just straight perception.
Yes.
-2.
2d6 is -2. That would be 8 -2 for 6, and I will not be spending any plot points on that.
Beautiful. You see nothing. No bugs.
Well, if we're not being bugged, maybe we have a mole. He'll think to himself and not tell anyone.
Echo, can you see if you could trace who did this, sent us this money?
I can certainly give it an attempt. I will give it an attempt for what it is worth.
Yep. Sounds good. I would say stealth can apply here.
Cool.
And then it's going to be intelligence. And please note that your max on that is 18. And I said it was an incredible difficulty.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, because we haven't used this very much, there is something called direct assistance, where you can combine the total roll with the person who's receiving your aid. So, for example, if Landon would like to come back over and try to help you with this, they can.
I'll happily take some help if either of you'd like to help, Captain or Landon.
I'll take Captain's discretion on that one, but happy to do so.
All right.
Landon, can you help? I'm not very good at this.
I can. I'm sorry, I missed the die rolls for that because I didn't think I was included.
That's fine. So
I do have
you're going to
deduction.
just roll deduction. Interesting. I think you can go ahead and use deduction because you wouldn't be able to use your stealthy movement thing. So you can use deduction, and then it'll also be intelligence.
Awesome. So no -2 from my superstitiousness.
No, this is unrelated to that.
Okay. Let's give it a go.
14.
Not a botch, but it's really close.
A bot?
That's 3.
I love this for you. You keep making it so that I don't need to use your things don't go smooth complication.
No, you don't need to use it. I'm just rolling bad already. I mean, you could use it and we see if I get 2 ones, but you know.
But I got a 14, so that's like 17 combined together.
Yeah, but
Use 1 point, right? You could like put up to a success of 1 point.
No, with 6. It would take 6 plot points to bump it up to a success.
And I don't have any.
Intuition, insight. No.
Everyone has plot points.
I feel like on a 2 and a 1, I don't deserve to.
No.
Oh, that's so bad.
So bad, but not
Echo
much.
nearly breaks the computer.
I'm not
Doesn't
sure,
actually
Captain.
drop on the ground, but it's a close thing.
Yeah.
There's no return to sender on this money, but they do know where we're going. So that's good.
Process of elimination. It's either the cruise, which knows we're coming to the cruise, our employer, who knows we're coming to the cruise, and that's less of a concern, even though this is ominous, or a third party that not only knows we're coming to the cruise, but wants to unsettle us and has unknown intentions.
So who connected to our group here has the funds to start just throwing away 1,000 space bucks? Who would desire to get us to the cruise and why? I'm guessing Tenzin. Did you see him go around that planet? That he's been trained by some of the best, probably. He's probably escaped from some sort of military type of thing. That was some mighty fine flying. We should keep him safe.
Agreed.
While he's in the poker tournament.
I'll give you all the money.
That's fine.
You go to my hole in the wall.
So, do we get our money back also? Or do I just get the 1,000?
No.
Well,
Just
just a note, y'all spent a total of 100 credits because it was the 600 for the shuttle and then the two 400s for the poker tournament.
That's right.
So they didn't give you everything that you spent.
Thank you, Captain. I'll take good care of this.
No, I'm giving you the 200 that you gave me.
Oh, well, I'll take good care of that too. Anything you want.
And I'll give the money back to Tenzin.
Okay.
So, given the general paranoia that's come up around all this stuff, I think while they've been doing all this, Angie is going to be trying to have built some sort of bug scanning device. Would that be technical engineering?
Let me look. It could be technical or mechanical, depending.
Same in each one. So
Yeah. So
doesn't really matter.
it's a little bit more mechanical engineering than technical, so we'll go with that one. So you've got that, and I would say intelligence.
Okie doke. That is absolutely appalling. No, no, that's a
What did
5.
you get? Yeah, I was pointing at the 7 for average, so you just missed it by 2. But yeah, you try to build this thing and you're just a little shaken by that idea of is someone listening to us? And it brings you back in that moment a memory of the time before. And no details or anything like that, but you know that the Alliance loves to listen in. And there's that creeping sense of, has someone planted something on us? Is there something that we need to be worried about here?
I think for the next few days of the trip, Angie's going to be super paranoid and like cagey and isn't talking to anyone about what she's actually doing. And as she's got really frustrated at being unable to build this complicated bit of tech, she probably just throws her half-finished thing against the wall at some point. And then she goes to do a much simpler and more practical option of going to the shuttle that they are going to be taking and building a secret compartment in which to stash her armor and armaments just in case they are needed.
Absolutely. And that's something that doesn't require any sort of roll because, as everyone knows, these fireflies and the shuttles that are on them have all kinds of hidey holes on them. So that's something that you already have in place. So easy enough to stash your armor there.
I'd like to hide a bomb near the engine. Not for us. This is more if like somebody takes over our ship.
Okay.
It could and it's not an exploding bomb. They just put out the electronic pulse. So this is more a safety measure. Like, well, if they're trailing us and listening to us, what if they're going to board us? So he just goes, hides it near an engine in case anything's happening. He can go and shut off someone else driving if they need a moment of surprise.
Okay.
He wouldn't tell anyone but Angie.
Okay. So if you're telling Angie that, that's fine.
Angie, I know Angie's down to rumble.
Angie is there.
You haven't actually wired this thing to go off if anyone messes with the engine, have you?
No, I have to go up and interact with it and then run. Is how they work.
You know, I could set something up like that.
I'll take any bombs you want to set up.
But yeah, you're right. We can't be too paranoid here.
I've got Anna Green Gables loaded and oiled.
point.
Hang on. Two voices happened at once. Landon first.
Oh, I just said I got Anna Green Gables oiled and ready.
Gotcha.
It's the name of my gun for anyone who wasn't here
Yeah.
last week. That sounded weird.
It did. And Angie, what did you say?
I just said that she has a wild look in her eye when she's speaking. Clearly, she's
Okay.
very paranoid about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to just feed that energy a little bit.
Of course you would.
Mm-hmm. Just
Do you
over the
like
week.
me to make some sort of engineering roll to rig this thing up?
Yeah, if you want to rig that up,
Dead man switch type affair?
yeah, I would say, still mechanical engineering here. And then, yeah, it's going to be one of your D8s. Intelligence, willpower, whatever.
Can I assist with my new ranged weapon skill?
Sure, you can assist.
Well, that's
Yeah.
11 anyway.
Okay.
Real quick,
Mhm.
Echo, can you put 200 in the ship money?
Sorry?
I'm taking 200. I'm going to put the other 200 in the ship money.
Yes.
I rolled a
You
3
are
on my
officially the
D
treasurer.
Echo is honored.
If the assist was just the ranged weapon, I
It's
added
not.
a 3. Okay.
So you add the 3, and then also it is going to be either alertness or intelligence.
I will do intelligence. I am very smart.
Uh-huh.
That's an extra 2. So if they
Okay.
rolled a 14, that'd be plus 5, 19.
No, 11. So
That's
that
right.
brings it up to a 16, which beats a formidable. So I would say, Angie, describe for us what you've done here, how you've rigged it up.
So essentially, it's rigged up so that if someone activates a button on their comms,
Mm-hmm.
or if someone who doesn't have the appropriate access code tries to get on board the shuttle, or activate the shuttle rather to take it off, it'll set off the MP.
Okay.
So if we have any information as well we want to store digitally that we might want to erase suddenly, then that'd be a good place to stash it on board, just in case we get found out.
Should we tell everyone about this, Angie, so they have access to it as well, or do you think they would hate it?
Angie probably looks about in a paranoid fashion and just like writes down on a little note of paper and says, "We should tell it says we should tell everyone, but not with our voices."
Write it down. Let's tell everyone but the mole, is what he'll write. And back to you.
Can you tell what's going on?
You know that Landon and Angie have been in the shuttle for quite a while. There's some mechanical noises coming from it, because I would say that there's probably like blowtorches and things like that being used to get things set up. But yeah, you would just hear the noises coming from it. The door's probably open.
I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna give him a post-it with a smiley on it. I'm gonna make sure to give Landon his own post-it with a smiley on it.
Let's put it on like a name tag, both showing my heart and my destiny.
And then I'll just
Smiling.
go away again.
Okay.
Captain seems bothered, Angie. Hard to ignore it when it's that obvious.
Let's just focus on the task at hand.
Yeah. It's probably better we don't tell him.
Okay. So we'll pull back from that, and I just want to turn really quickly to Echo.
Hello.
What is he thinking? What is he doing right now?
I think if we're covering the last couple days pre-aerial,
Mhm.
Echo's getting more and more, is starting to wander less and less around the ship. Everyone's seeing a bit less of them, and has kind of gotten a little bit more and more closeted into the med bay. Very stressed and specifically trying to fight a lot of the instincts of stealth and subterfuge with the knowledge of where we're headed directly to. And on like maybe about 12 hours out from Ariel, he leaves and goes in search of Jude, wherever Jude is on the ship.
Jude is plastering Landon's door with Post-its.
Delightful. I'm curious what type of Post-its now. I have to ask.
I think these are just going to be probably blank ones, just because I can't think of what to put on them.
I was about to say they're blank. Yeah.
Maybe a couple of like encouraging notes, but like the whole door, when Landon opens it, it's just going to have Post-its on it.
A beautiful mosaic. Echo kind of speed walking through the hallways, goes a little bit past that and does a little double take and comes back and just goes, Captain.
Yeah.
Could I talk to you for a moment? If you're not busy, you look like you're busy.
Nope, I'm just finishing up. Where do you want to go?
Kind of look up and down the corridor. I wanted to well, you're in charge here, and this is your ship, and you're very good at it, and you were kind enough to allow me on, and you didn't ask a lot of questions, which was also very kind. And I feel like it's, I guess, my duty. I have a lot of feelings about duty, to just let you know that on the cruise where we're going, there are a few people that may recognize me, which isn't great. It's not very good. I wanted to give you a heads up about that.
Well, I wasn't going to allow Landon to put that poster up anyway.
He kind of, his shoulders kind of drop a little bit and he laughs. That's delightful. I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate the thought, but we can find better designs. I'm sure of that. I'm sure. Yeah, thank you. I don't know how much of a problem it will be for our immediate purposes, in part because I'm going to try to stay out of the way of them, and in part because I'm suspicious that if they run into me, at least in public, I don't know how much of a scene they're going to want to make about it in the middle of this very fancy ship. But I wanted to give you a heads up.
What if you stick near Angie?
That is true. I may do some of that. I wanted to let you know because, again, your ship, your rules, and you should know what might be about to go down. Problems from a past life, that sort of thing.
Yeah, those tend to pop up sometimes. But I'll talk to Angie and we'll make sure that nothing happens to you. We'll keep you safe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is a good place. Thank you for keeping it that way.
Thanks for being the number one medic.
He gives a little salute and ducks back around the corridor.
Dude's going to try to find Angie after that.
Okay. Angie, where are you?
I think if this is after Jude had previously walked in on our work on the shuttle, Angie is probably now back in the engine room because that's the one place that she's manually scoured for any sort of listening device, and she's reasonably convinced now that at least the engine room where she spends all her time is safe. And also it's quite noisy in there because of the engine, so she figures that probably helps too. So that's probably where she is. She's just probably fiddling about on her desk, or maybe she's doing more sort of practice drills with her concealable knife that she's been given.
Hey, Angie.
Imagine she like whirls around like the plate like right next to Jude's face, and she's, "Oh, sorry, Captain. Didn't mean to scare you or anything."
You don't scare me.
That's nice, actually. What's going on?
When we're on aerial, I need you to keep an eye with Echo. Could you just keep him safe? Don't worry about me. Just keep Echo safe.
Don't worry, he's I'll keep my eye on him. He's just a kid, really, isn't he?
Yeah, it's got some people after him.
Yeah. But we don't pry on this ship, do we?
Nope. We just keep him safe and yeah, just keep him safe for me, please.
Whatever you say, Captain.
Did you say
I haven't been interfering with your dreams again, have I?
no?
I took the drugs he gave me. It's keeping things quiet, but the more time we spend in the core, the more paranoid I get, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried too, but you keep yourself safe and Echo safe, and we'll be fine.
Okay.
You know I can take care of myself.
Thanks, Jude.
And we pull back from this scene, this lovely moment, as it's probably about 5 hours till going landside. But we will save that for after the break. So we are going to take a 15-minute break now. Don't forget to subscribe to Girls Run These Worlds Twitch and YouTube channels, and hydrate and take your meds. And we'll be back soon. Bye-bye. Waving. Yay. to our game of Into the Black Serenity RPG. Before the break, we had planning, plots, and mysterious backgrounds partially revealed. But for now, we are dropping into Atmo of the planet Ariel. As the Halo makes its way down into Ariel's Atmo, the first thing those of you watching notice is the endless sea of skyscrapers and metal walkways. Tall buildings constructed of glass and steel stretch skyward, gleaming and cold, while holographic billboards floating in the air around you advertise expensive tech, shiny but pricey restaurants, and even the sold-out cruise aboard the El Dorado, just a few short days away. Your ship drops into a landfall lane and slides along the unseen guidance lines that lock airborne traffic into place to avoid collisions. A few minutes later, your autolock ship slows down and drifts into one of the hundreds of similarly looking landing docks and stops with a soft.
Okay, kids. Welcome to a planet. I'm sure nothing will go wrong here before we get on another ship.
Roll the dice to see if you're an Albion instead of Ariel. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Let me just get them.
We did a beautiful slingshot maneuver in the wrong direction.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I got off the wrong exit at the turnpike.
Yeah, actually, you've already made it all the way to Bellerophon before the ship that you're trying to board. Can you imagine? I mean, honestly, with Tenzin.
I always get exactly where I mean to get us, which is not when we're supposed to necessarily be there.
Well, fortunately for you, it's very clearly Ariel here.
That makes me sound like the TARDIS.
Wrong system. Moving on. Yes, you have landed here at Ariel. The fee to fuel up your fuel cells is a little bit on the side. It is 500 credits. Previously, you've paid 400 places here and there, but 500, decent, but not too bad. However, if you want to leave the ship here for 2 weeks, that is also going to cost you. It's going to be about 50 credits per day. So just keep that in
mind. Which is 700-ish for the entire duration of the cruise.
They're going to make me do math. Hang on. I don't need to do math. Wait. 14 and 50. You just divided by 2. We're fine.
Yeah, it should be 700. It's a fair amount of. It's a large chunk of credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Good thing someone's we got a sugar baby on board and somebody sent their treat. This one's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have enough to cover that, do we think, in the ship's coffers, or are we going to get creative?
I have 200 I'm still willing to put anything that Captain gave me back.
I will note.
I have 300 I'm still willing to.
You pay for it after when you want to take the ship back. Otherwise, it just stays landlocked and you're not allowed to take your ship back.
Let's do that. Let's let future party deal with having enough money at that point. After Captain wins the casino, the gambling, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah,
we
once
actually have to park the ship in the city. Could we leave it in the backwoods somewhere?
Are there backwoods? Or is it like city everywhere? Or will someone
It's
rob it?
basically city everywhere.
You want to leave my
wow.
ship in the boonies?
First of all, it's Jude's ship, not your ship.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
fun. Whatever.
Look, I stole this ship
It's
spare.
gonna be costly. And what if someone starts poking around about this ship, trying to find out more about it? We want that.
Especially now that we know someone's been bugging us. They could be on our tail.
If someone is bugging us, can you keep an eye on the ship for us, please?
Like leave them here for 2 weeks while we take the cruise type of thing.
Tenzon's already registered
say
for
no.
the.
Do we have any kind of camera bug device we can leave to see if somebody messes with it? Echo starts, depending on where this conversation is happening, Echo starts rummaging through his bag, and maybe there's sounds of quite a lot of small items in there, of small electronic items in there, but comes back up from him and is like, I don't think I have anything specifically for that.
Well, Echo, would you like to spend a plot point to have a camera?
I would love to do that, actually. That would be great.
That's a
Because
thing.
you grabbed all manner of things when you left.
I pull out everybody probably witnesses this. Echo pulls out several different things that look like they could be useful somehow in the future, including like different data disks and some of the things that you use specifically to trick security cameras, like the papers that you put, the video feeds that you put over them, and then finally, like on check 3, oh, I did not remember that I had a camera, but that is so convenient. Would this be of any help?
We could put it above the front door, or so if they come up to it, it alerts us.
I will hand it over to Landon. I feel like you might be better at placing this
Yeah, I'll
somewhere
go put this
inconspicuous.
to work for sure. And I'll wander off to do that.
Now, out of curiosity, is Angie helping with this, or is it just going to be Landon doing the mechanic-y things?
Well, if it's just landing, something else will happen, actually.
If it's a mechanical task rather than a covert task, then yeah, I will go along and help, I suppose.
And if they don't come, I'm just keeping the camera.
I had a feeling. I love that.
Put it to use somewhere else.
When they get back, when Landon and Angie get back, I want to ask Landon, what else do you think we should do if somebody's sneaking around on here? How else can we catch them or stop them?
Well, to be honest, it seems like they want us on this boat. They paid 1,000 credits to get us here. If they just wanted to rob us, I mean, we only have money because of them. So they didn't really need to do that. So I'm assuming they don't want the ship if they're just sending us money of that amount. But I don't know. Is Tenzin, you owe anything for gambling?
no.
Yeah, because you win most of your poker games, so that wouldn't make sense.
Are any of your bobbleheads particularly collectible items that somebody would wish to steal?
All of them are impeccably collectible items.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
They are being
That makes
collected.
sense. You have very good taste in bobbleheads.
Is there a way that we can put money on Ariel?
That you could get money on Ariel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can do odd jobs. You have about a week until the actual cruise takes off. So if you wanted to, for example, be message runners, odds ends workers for people that need it, things like that, you're welcome to give that a go. It's not quite like in other systems where there's just a bulletin board of jobs, but you can find some options.
Now, when we park the ship, do we sleep in the ship or do we have to sleep somewhere else while the
you sleep in
ship's
the
in like
ship.
a hangar? Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
you sleep in the ship. That costs nothing.
That takes care of several problems, such as being on the ship at night and also not having to get room and board.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to.
If you were to go to a campsite with an RV. And sorry, Jude, you were saying?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the crew to take care of the ship. I'm going to go try to make some money so that we can pay these parking fees just in case.
Okay. Is there any particular kind of job that you're looking for? And does anyone go with Jude?
Not
Angie
with.
is going to look very concerned at this suggestion from Jude. Like, I don't think you've got the right sort of suitable identification to not raise a few flags here.
And you have to take care of Echo, so I'll be fine.
I was going to suggest that we track down identification and the faking thereof as soon as possible for any or all of us that might need that, which might make jobs easier as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, we can
Exactly.
take some running jobs.
Hang on one second. I'm just pulling up the lovely PDF where it has fake ident cards listed,
Mm-hmm.
just so that I know.
Sorry, I saw that after I assumed I had 20 of them.
Yeah. I mean, one could argue that some of them are very obviously not usable because, of course, these ident cards are like they scan and things like that. I'd say that most of your fake ident cards do not scan and therefore are just for like rim planets, like you flash the ident card and that's enough.
But
5% off groceries.
Princess Jar Jar Rambunctious.
I haven't gone by Jar Jar in a whole minute. Jeez.
So, for example, if you wanted to, say, get a forgery kit, that might make fake ident cards easier to make rather than spending 4,000 credits on them. Yeah, because forgery kits, I love the sheer price differences. Fake ident cards are 4,000 credits. A forgery kit, if you can find it, is 40 credits.
Why don't we
That seems like a good way to start a business. Like, let's just become forgers.
What if that's our side job, is that we get a forgery kit and then we forge other people's IDs as well as our own for a week, and then we have extra money.
You don't even need to like go hunting too far to find people wanting to buy that. We just go to the local high school.
That's funny. That's where I got mine from.
From a high schooler?
Yeah, they sold for like 5 credits.
That's a steal.
From you.
I mean, it's gotten this far. They're a captain of one of the best ships we've been in.
The very best.
Yeah. Well, we were in the USGM, but the standards did drop. Those chips had no flavor.
Oh. So, if y'all want to go looking for a forgery kit, you're welcome to do so, but keep in mind that you are on a core planet. So finding the illegal areas might be a bit of a challenge. So how would you like to go about doing this, and who is going to do it? I know that Jude was saying that she was going to go looking for jobs.
I'm going to go check in for the cruise myself with the paperwork and all that. But I'm going to wait till Captain leaves because they told us to stay here. So I'm going to wait till they leave, then I'll go.
Okay.
The person that I feel like I'm most likely to think knows where there's forgery kits is Landon.
I'm like a creature.
But I just
thing
feel
of
like you know
sorts.
where things are. Like honestly, whether legal or illegal, I just feel like you know where things are, both on the ship and in life.
You're welcome to tag along. I'm not part of any seedy underbelly. I don't know if we have anyone on the ship who's part of any seedy underbelly.
I'm just looking at everyone's faces.
Silence.
Long moment of staring at Landon. Interesting statement to make.
I mean, if Captain would rather us go in a group, then I'm fine to go help look for forgery kits. But if not, I'd probably let them go and then head over to Boat City Hall, wherever you go do the cruise stuff.
What if you registered us and then got the forgery kit?
Anything you need, Captain. At your disposal.
You're the best for the job.
An important thing to note, just as a reminder, so Jude, you're not able to register until you get your fake ident card.
Okay.
So you just have your temporary stuff in, but once you actually physically go there, they take your ident card, scan it, and get you on board.
So we should do that before I go register. Deal.
Mm-hmm. The other question is, are you all pretending to not know each other? Like, are Echo, Angie, and Landon on the shuttle, and Tenzin and Jude are individually going aboard? Or what's happening there?
Yeah, save those nice cabins they'll be staying in while we're in the shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's reasonable to suggest that if Angie is going to try and get a job as security, then she should probably act like she doesn't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
That would put us as we're all entering around the same time, but Tenzin and Jude in their quarters, Angie potentially security, and Landon and Echo on the shuttle. Yes, no, maybe?
I could find myself being somewhere weird. Who knows? But probably, yeah.
Well,
Or we all
considering the fact that
go
the
away in the
shuttle's
cargo
under
bay.
your name.
Sometimes I just get offered weird places to stay when I'm in cities.
If the shuttle's under your name, then Tenzin and Jude's name are also going to be on that list.
I can add your name to the list for sure if you'd like, Captain.
No, it would be because we signed up for the tournament.
Yeah, so you've individually paid the 400 credits, and so you have your own individual quarters on the ship. And all the food and drink and shows and everything that you want.
Yeah, the captain and the pilot are going to be having a great time. So who wants to head off into town? Tenzin, and we could maybe find a bar.
Encourage him.
Maybe bring me something back.
You want something
Not
clear, or you want something not clear?
Something heavy.
I can do
Pork
that. I know
chops.
Mercury put out a new IPA. It's way heavier than it looks.
I'll happily also head off into town. I'm not as worried about myself in the middle of the city,
Mm-hmm.
Echo says, and then questions that statement quietly to himself
Okay, you gotta look
almost immediately.
out. Angie, look out for Echo.
Sure. I guess Angie doesn't really mind going and accompanying Echo. Since I am a Cortex ghost, the main thing I'm worried about isn't local security so much as very specific secret security type people. So yeah, that's probably fine.
For sure. And Landon, I think that the brewery you were thinking of is the Twin Worlds Brewery.
That's right. That's right.
because there's
Oh.
actually a brewery.
TWB.
It's Ithaca and Priam. They're planets out on the rim. Moons out on the rim that have always been considered like twin worlds, and one of them has a brewery on it. They fought for opposite sides during the Unification War, but they make a really good beer.
What were the names of the two? Sorry.
Ithaca and, is it Priam or Prism? I always forget this.
I think you said Priam.
Yeah, Priam.
I know exactly what to get you, Tenzin. A good Priam to start it off, and an Ithaca when you want to chill down a little more in the evening.
Okay.
But as we're leaving, my eyes are going to go over the ship, knowing that our pilot's going to be gone for a little bit, staying somewhere else, and I just kind of like elegantly like touch it. Like one day.
No.
You don't see this.
You're going to be staying in a fancy place.
Mm-hmm. I would say you are too, Landon, except you're going to be staying in your shuttle. So you might want to shove a bed into that shuttle or two.
Echo and Angie, Echo and Angie, those are the correct names. Would you like to stay together, or are you comfortable on your own? I just like to meander whenever we get back to, people.
I glance at Echo. I'm like, I think we'll be all right.
Probably.
Absolutely.
So where should we start then? Who would like to go first?
I think Echo and Angie is where the action is today, a little bit.
Okay.
Are we going to go hunt down forgery kits?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
We've got this. We've got this covered between us. We are ready. We have the necessary skill. I technically have a stealth skill.
I like that you laughed when you said that you had the necessary skills.
I have faith in some of my... Echo has faith in very specific of his skills. And in other ones, less immediate faith.
Yeah. Perfect. So I'm going to say there are a couple of options here. So either covert or perception as the main skill. If you have a specialty that's related with this, you're welcome to use it. And then it would be either alertness or intelligence.
Now, my question is this.
Uh-huh.
Can I, entering this city, a place I don't think I've been before, just use my intuition to try and suss out the vibes of this?
While you haven't been to Ariel itself, you have been to other very similar core planets.
This is
Not
true.
much. You were rather secluded, shall we say, but you do know something about the core. So I will allow you to use your intuition.
Delightful. Okay. I'm going to roll for that. I'm going to roll that plus intelligence.
Mm-hmm. And hold on the number there before you say it. Angie, what would you like to roll?
I'm going to use covert alertness, I think.
Okay. Okay, so once you've both rolled, tell me your numbers, and you're combining this. This is a combined roll in this case.
That's a 9.
Okay,
And that's an 11.
amazing. The difficulty on this was a heroic, which is a 19, and you beat it.
Oh, good for us.
To find these things on a core world that we've never been to before.
It is a challenge. I would say that you probably spend the better part of the first day, to be honest, doing this, because you are looking for something that is highly illegal, that not very many, people in the core, of course, use forgery kits. anyone will use them, but it's a matter of getting a good quality one and not getting caught by the Alliance. So you spend the better part of the day trying to very carefully find the right locations in this city, and you eventually find yourselves in a little bit of a seedier part of town. Not like super seedy, there's no blackout areas or anything like that, but you find yourselves down a side street, not a back alley, a side street, and there is a tattoo parlor that has one of those neon signs of the Blue Sun logo just fritzing out a little bit in the window. And the owner there is someone that you have been directed towards. It is actually a rather slight individual. She has close cropped, undercut, brown hair, tattoos all along her chest and arms. She is, to all intents and purposes, she looks like she's probably in her younger 20s. But she, as soon as you come in and say the right thing, glances around, flips a switch, and the screens go down on the tattoo parlor. All right, then. What is it that you want exactly?
When the screens dropped, Echo kind of looked at Angie briefly like, are we about to be murdered? Are we about to die?
And just gives a little shake of her head.
Okay, good. We're looking for any type of materials or kits that could help someone start anew, forge a new life, as it were.
Interesting. I think that's something that I could take care of for you. Now, these things are hard to come by, shall we say, and harder still to hold on to. What can you offer me?
Let's see. I could certainly offer you somewhere between, say, 30 or 40 credits, since these are so hard to hold on to, or I could give you something more in the vicinity of 50 credits, and we could depart quickly and not have been here, in case anyone asks.
She glances side to side to you. I can do 50. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of extra with this, say you need some refills, if you're looking to do a little bit more than just a couple, it's another 40 credits.
That seems reasonable. I'll kind of give Angie a like.
Seems fair. Give her 100, and she never saw us.
That sounds wise. Does that seem fair? 100 and we weren't here?
100 and you don't know my name. I don't know yours.
I'll hand over 100 credits.
She takes it, flips through it, tucks it into a pocket, and pushes a button on the underside of the counter, and a little drawer pops down. She pulls out a very simple, very small little piece of tech. Doesn't look like much, but looking it over, it is indeed a forgery kit for making fake IDs.
Ooh.
And she hands you a refill for it as well.
I'll hand it all off to Angie. I feel like you might be a little bit better equipped to handle this than I.
She looks down at it and just puts it into a little side bag and shrugs. Pleasure doing business with you.
What business? And she pushes the button for the screens to go back up and gestures.
We duck out onto the street, and Echo's clearly very delighted. Just, oh, that was fun. That was fun. That was secretive. I like that.
You haven't done much like this before, have you?
No. I mean, I've like read about it or in books and seen it on hollows and things, but no, it's a lot scarier in person. But when it goes great, fun. That was an adrenaline rush.
And she hushes her briefly as like, I guess, like some sort of automated police drone flies past or something. This is what I fought for. Funny to think you grew up in the Corps and you don't think about how much you're watched all the time.
Yeah, it's just kind of fades into the background.
Anyway, let's get back and make sure that Landon and Tenzin haven't got themselves in any trouble.
I feel like they probably have. So maybe we should get back and fix it.
Which, speaking of, Tenzin, are you doing anything special? Or are you just vibing in the bridge?
I think Tenzin's vibing, definitely kind of trying to fortify against the awareness that he's going to be leaving his safe space, leaving the place where he is powerful, which is behind the controls of a ship. So there's a lot of just kind of like my control modules.
Do you take any of your bobbleheads with you?
Yes, I think Tenzin will take his lucky bobblehead.
Do tell.
He has a lucky bobblehead, which is it is a little green man in a Texan like cowboy hat with like Marvin the Martian pistols. It is his lucky bobblehead, and it is at pride of place, like right at the center top of the primary pilot console.
Okay. So you remove this because, of course, all of your bobbleheads are attached to the console so that they don't go flying all over the place when you take off and land. You tried that once and it was just pure chaos and you had to fix it. But you're able to detach it, look down at it, it bobbles its head at you, and you're able to pocket it. You still have 6 or so days until you have to actually board the El Dorado. So you still have time with your baby, but...
I think also takes like a spare like camping mat and a pillow, and just like for the next 6 or so days, Tenzin's sleeping in the cockpit and on the bridge. He's just like, this is my safe place. I don't want to leave it, but I'm gonna. But this is probably a really bad idea. But I'm gonna spend as much time here as I can.
Okay. We'll shift now over to Landon. Jude, who would like to go next?
I'm out and about, so if Jude has anything they're doing at the ship.
Well, Jude had mentioned going shopping.
No, I was going to try to get a job.
Oh,
That's
yes,
right,
that's
that's
right. A job. Is there any specific kind of job that you're looking for?
Something that can make us a lot of money.
Oh, let me see. 1 second. Hold, please. I'm going to type, so I'm going to mute myself. What kind of jobs? That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Potentially. Sci-fi job generators tend to be a little bit more on the alien side of things. You can always do something like ferrying notes from place to place, or doing mild transport jobs. You do have your mule, so if you wanted to use that, you would be able to probably, after a little bit of searching, get some jobs transporting some heavier goods from place to place, I would say.
I'll do the transporting.
Hmm?
I will do the transporting.
Okay. Yeah. So easily enough, you're able to get a number of jobs over the course of the 6 days. I would say I don't have any physical dice with me because I'm traveling at the moment. Let me grab my dice roller. Let's do these and roll. Okay, so over the course of 6 days, you're able to get 300 credits. That's subtracting out the fuel costs to actually run the mule, but 300 total after expenses are paid.
And how much was it again to the park?
700. So you've made a decent dent in it, but that's going to take up most of your time leading up to the actual cruise itself.
Okay, yeah, Jude's just gonna be very busy doing these jobs, and it's put the money aside so that in case things go south, we'll probably write down for Angie to make sure that stuff gets paid.
Okay. So, lastly, Landon, what are you doing all by your lonesome?
Oh, I have too much money, so I need to spend all of it. I know I was looking to get Tenzin some premium Ithaca beer, or Priam. Yeah. So I'd be looking for that, but I'd also be looking for any sort of electronic-y gadget place where they went to sketchy places to ask for sketchy things. I'm going to go to legit places to ask for sketchy things.
Okay, let's see. Right. This PDF isn't fully searchable because of how it's done. There are images. What kinds of things are you looking for?
Oh, about 173 credits worth of things. I've got Anne of Green Gables wrapped in her Rava bandana again. I would like a debugger, a disguise kit, a laser light, an electric log picker, a mag charge, or an optical bomb. They're all off the covert ops gear list.
Yeah.
I don't need all of them, but I figure if we're going into kind of a wild situation, it might be nice to have options.
Okay, I'm gonna say let's roll because I like my stepped thing.
Yeah.
So for each difficulty step that you hit, you're able to get one more item.
Yikes.
So if you do extremely well, I'll toss you an extra one. I'm going to say you can use your, I've written it down as stealthy movement, but you're like hunting around trying to find these things. I will allow you to do that with your D8. And then you can, what attribute would you like to use and how do you want to argue for it?
I would like to use my reading asset, if possible, to try to basically... Wealthy people also need to do sketchy things. It's a very, maybe even more so because they can afford to, one might say. So I'm going to try to find whichever of these shops, like, maybe works with private eyes and things of that sort. If not, I'll use my allure and I'm just going to bat these dark voids at them.
I would say it's really up to you how you want to play it. So I would allow either option.
I'll do reading because it gives the +2. when I'm
The plus 2 step.
observing, trying to discern and all those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a plus 2 step, which is an important thing.
Probably to alertness, I'd assume.
Yes, it would be to alertness.
Deal. So that'd be a D8 and a D10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna spend. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna spend any plot points. That isn't great. 11.
I mean, 11 beats a hard, and so that's 3 of your items. Pick your most expensive items that you want. And if you need me to give you the numbers, I can.
Oh, I've got them here. I think I'd like to do the disguise kit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all right if I don't get the 3 most expensive ones, but maybe whichever other ones I wanted of the cheaper sort? I mean, 1 for 1, not getting any extra. Just I don't really want the debugger. I'd rather have like light laser spray, which is much cheaper than the debugger.
Here's the thing. You have your complication.
I do. Disguise kit, electric lockpick, and I think the mag charge is the next one. Yep. That would be those 3.
Yeah. So you got to spend your money. So
it'd be about 115.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jefferson. I'm so happy your store was open today. The people in my parish will really appreciate me being able to get to the bottom of whoever's been breaking into their homes.
Yeah, it's this guy with a really thick, like, handlebar mustache, big bellied. Just goes, right you are. Breaking into the parish.
Are there any bookstores nearby, Jefferson? I just got made land recently, and I always like to pick up a little, pulp novel, something spicy with cops.
Yeah, sure. There's I don't read much myself, but the mister does. It's about 4 blocks from here. The Reader's Nook.
Oh, that's a great name.
It's a little small hole in the wall, but should be what you're looking for.
Have a wonderful day, sir. It's been a pleasure.
You too.
I
Do you
will be
actually have a hat?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
So you just pro tip your hat. Brilliant. Perfect. I love it.
I am going to get Tenzin some booze before I buy anything else because I want to still have money. Is the plan. I will go to Primum Ithaca, or I will pass by it on my way and just grab him something heavy.
Yeah, and there are, like, every core world has multiple Twin Worlds brewery locations. So everything's brewed over on Ithaca, but it's actually all different storefronts here. Yeah, exactly. It is like the beer.
He wants something heavy, so if they have anything like gravy based, like
they have some very, very dark, like, chew on it. It's like soup almost.
Jerky beer. Yeah, jerky beer.
Yeah, absolutely. They have all different flavors. Like, this place even has like a jalapeno beer, but that's an IPA.
I will get Kenzin a jalapeno, a blueberry, and a gravy, if possible, to get those 3 flavors. They're still on my card thing. I have them not marked off like a lot of the other flavors I've tried through the universe. So I know they're a little rare, and I hope you appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I would say, how much are you getting? Are you just getting 1 of each?
Or 2 of each. I'll share with everyone else to try the gravy beer. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's just say that that's another 15 credits. It's pricier than where you purchased it before, but this is not a rim planet. This is the core.
I personally don't drink, so I just like to make sure that my party members, I get that's D&D.
Your crew.
My crew, my captain's crew is having a fine time. And then bookstore and back. I guess I'll come back home with some money left.
Okay. There are plenty of books in this bookshop, so I would say you could easily spend a significant chunk of change here. Even like rarer tomes, things like that, things that you don't normally get to find. So I will come up with titles later, but I could say that you have like 5 new 75 credits.
Are there
especially
any
with the rarer one?
Would it be possible to find one about the deep and unrelenting call of the void?
Absolutely.
Maybe a personal
You're
journal of some
sure.
unnamed person.
Yeah, you're not quite sure if it's like serious literature or if it's someone who went out into black and it's all they could think about anymore. But looks like it could be interesting.
Oh, perfect. And I'm going to get Tenzin a How to Play Poker book. He's going against the captain. I'm worried. Captain's real good at what they do. And that's it.
Okay, I love that. And so you all reconvene back at the ship. Let's say that it's probably 2 days before the El Dorado takes off. You still need to check in for the actual cruise, but Echo and Angie, you have this lovely forgery kit. So before we end the session for the day, yes, before we end the session for the night, we need to do some fake IDs. So let me double check my exact number here. No forgery kit. How many does it do? It doesn't say. Amazing. I'm going to say that the forgery kit is able to do 5 fake ident cards. So you have enough with the refill for 10 total if you want to sell a couple, or if you want to make a couple extras. So I would like you guys to roll. It's going to be covert for sure, and intelligence. And it's up to you who wants to work on it or if you want to work on it together. The minimum difficulty on this is a hard, but if you hit higher difficulties, then it's an even better fake ident card.
Who's best at covert?
And we're rolling for each card specifically?
Each card, yes.
Right. My vote is for work together. I think we should put this on like a table in the middle of our common area and just try to crowdsource figure it out.
That's fair.
Yeah, there
Friends
is no
who
manual
forge
that
together
comes with
stay
this.
together.
Can we all pitch in then, or
Not everyone? I would say that if you want to all pitch in, that's going to become a different kind of role. There is something called a complex action. So in that case, it would be, so for example, each role is a block of time. So if it's like every ident card is the next one up. So it would be 55 total combined as a complex action. And then if you get the next step up, then at 75 for formidable, then you would have an even better ID.
So it might just be best to get the 2 best covert people to make the IDs. I don't know who those are, though. Who's got good covert?
I've got a D8 for covert. I've got a D8 for D6 for covert, D8 for stealth.
You'll definitely.
Yeah, I'd say stealth for this one's not going to count, but the just straight covert will.
Cool.
And then Landon, you're the other one.
Put me on blast.
If you wanna.
No, well, I'd assume it was the D6 too, because moving undetected would not.
No, exactly. Yeah, so you'll both roll covert plus it was, I would say, intelligence or alertness.
I'll pick intelligence every time.
Likewise.
Valid.
And we're all making fake. And are we all getting fake IDs uniformly, or who does anyone not need a
mine's
fake
fine.
ID? Okay, so
So 3.
So 3 of us for sure need fake IDs. Delightful.
Mhm. Yeah. And you have enough materials that if you botch one, you can always scrap it and try a new one.
All
But
right.
it's wasted materials.
Shall we give this a try, Landon?
It's been a while, but yeah, I love arts and crafts. That's a 10.
Oh, that is not the number I thought that was. That is a 11.
Okay. Well, that's a 21, so that beats a heroic. So
Yeah, heroes.
Whose ID are you making here?
I'm tempted to say start with the captain.
I would too,
Okay.
especially with getting into the card game.
Okay.
Might need to look at it a little more intensely.
Mm-hmm. So what name, Jude, do you ask them to put on? And what name do they actually put on?
I'm just going to say Jude because that's the name that I picked.
Okay. Last name?
Is Jude? Can I be Jude? Jude?
Jude.
No, please don't do that.
Jude. Captain Jude. I think is what the ID will officially say is Captain Jude.
That's a suspicious name. We want it to be like boring.
Mm. Comma boring.
So Jude, it can be your name, or you can make up a last name, and you don't have to tell them which it is.
Yeah, just put it under Jude Anderson.
Miss Anderson.
Jude Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Anderson.
And Jude, you have, for the first time in a long while, your own actual real-ish ident card.
I think this is actually my first ident card.
Yeah.
What's the picture like on it?
The forgery kit comes with one of those things where you like snap the photo of the person.
We have a little backdrop hanging in one wall of the ship that just looks like blue sky. Yeah.
I was about to say we do a little picture day at school.
Yeah. Picture day montage.
Amazing.
It's like completely boring. It doesn't like you just see normal person Jude.
Yep.
That'll work.
Okay. Who's up next? Whose idea are you making
Angie?
next?
Yeah.
Okay.
5.
10.
15.
Nope, that's a lie. 12.
Okay, so 17 beats a formidable. Not quite as good as Jude's, but still a very decent ident card. It'll definitely pass what you need it to do. Angie, what name do you have them put on it?
I don't know. Azalea Star with 2 R's.
Write that down. Write that down in the Discord chat because I will forget it. Just so you know. But yes, easily enough, you now have a legit-looking fake ident card.
I love the hologram. If you turn it, they smile.
We somehow make a hologram that has a post-it note smiley face in it.
If you look real hard.
I love it. I feel like Jude just randomly put a little post-it note up in the background of Angie's photo and you didn't see until afterward.
As long as the post-it note doesn't say fake ID on it.
Exactly. Well, and then finally, Echo, I believe it's your turn.
Echo, why are we making one of these for you?
You know, I did not bring mine with me when I left, so
It's always good to have one, that's fair.
always good to have on hand.
Seems fine. That's a 3.
That's a 5.
Oh no.
That's exactly what I felt was going to happen. I won't lie.
So that's an 8, which is a failure.
Hmm.
If you want to spend 3 plot points, you can make it a success.
I'll throw in 1 towards this for you, Echo, but just 1.
I am so touched.
Don't we have extra so you could try it again?
You can try again if you want instead of spending a plot point. You're just wasting credits if you do that.
Let's waste credits.
Let's try once more, and then if luck really says
Okay.
no,
This is horrible. The name on it's what? Egon? That's not gonna work. It's a little better. 8.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough. That's a 14. I can math. So that is a success. It's not I love that we went down in scale from like 2 steps over the success to 1 to below and then up again.
We're getting worse at using this machine as we
Tired.
go.
We're sleepy.
We're not learning. We're not getting better.
No.
We're getting worse.
And the important question before we end this session, Echo, what name's on your ID?
I think the name on my ID is Echo Verity. Verity.
Okay. Okay. Make a note of that.
I'm gonna
And
make all the posters out of the photo of Echo to start putting up around town.
No.
For Echo and the Echoes
Oh.
is what the band will be called.
I will paint you a poster. Do not. And you know what? You will do that. You will make a poster for land.
That'd be great. Yeah, I could always use more posters.
We'll graphic design something with no identifying photograph.
No, I have to write a code for this, so I can do it.
Superb.
well, with all of that taken care of, this is where we will end our session for today. So, thank you, everyone, for joining us for this 3rd session of Into the Black. We will be back next week, so be sure to stop on over then to see what the crew of the Halo has gotten up to, finally boarding the El Dorado. So we are going to do our cast outros, and I'm going to do mine first, and I wrote in bold, say your username, so I'll remember this time. Hi, I'm Anya. I've been your storyteller. I'm Lolly on cosplay everywhere. There, I said it. This weekend, I am going to be at the Empire LARP here in England. I'm in the UK right now, and I'm very excited. It's my first time ever doing a LARP. So if you are in the UK and you're going to Empire, come say hi to Odette Cantor, who is a storyteller. Go figure. That is it for me until next week when I will be back running this again. Let's do the reverse order again. So Zev, you are up.
Hey everybody, I'm Zev, Hukari Gaming 30K on the Bird app, which is the only social media I use at the moment. You can find me here playing everyone's favorite humble king. And I believe, unless something's gone wrong with my cast, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Look, I'm constant. I don't like the emergencies don't happen on my end of the table. Over at the Bardic Inspiration Network's Twitch, running a Exandria Chronicle, and also over there playing a Candela Obscura, which will be our next episode is sometime in either this weekend or next weekend. I can't remember. That's me.
Perfect. And then we have Mica.
Hey, I'm Mica. You will not find me generally on social media, but you can possibly find my storytelling troupe, the Moss Troopers, on Facebook. And if you are in the north of England, you might be able to catch us performing. Well, we're doing a wedding, but you probably won't be there. I'm not going to invite you to crash a random person's wedding, but we will be doing Tales of Reynard the Fox with puppets. Had lovely Reynard glove puppets made for that particular gig at the Stevenson Railway Museum's Teddy Bears Picnic on the
I was
Feels
not
that way off, to
expecting
be
where
honest.
that sentence went.
on the the 27th of May, and we will be also doing a variety of other gigs later in the year, but there's no point mentioning those now. I just signed a lot of contracts this week, so I've still got them all in my head. And yeah, I'm really excited. Anya's going to be going to Empire because I actually had a hand in helping. So it's a very high quality LARP, like very high quality prop sets. And we spent a lot of time, which I'm very proud of, making each of the cultures within it seeming unique by setting up various arts for each of them. So it's going to be, looking forward to hearing what Anya has to say after.
I'll post all the photos that I'm able to take.
So yeah, if anyone does fancy going to Empire by Profound Decisions, they're an excellent company and they do very high quality, large scale LARPs. That's lots of fun, so I recommend them. But yeah, that's me.
Emma, you are up next.
Hello, I am Emma. You can find me in all the positive dreams, I hope. And also back here next week playing this lovely game, potentially in some other things in the future, but we will see about those. I do not have the timing for them yet. But for now, if you want more Space Westerny goodness, a show called Breathing Space, Space Western podcast. It's very fun. Go listen on your platform of choice.
Huzzah! And rah-rah!
I actually will be at that wedding, Mica. I'll be playing the fox. But hey, I'm Rara. You can find me under most things that are Rara, but make sure it's me. That's all the clues you get. I run a podcast called The Heart is a Dungeon. Next week, we're starting season 2. We're going to have about 20 players show up throughout all of that. So that's the main thing I do. But, oh, crap. Next week, May 3rd, Science and Sorcery. I'm playing some wrestling for charity on there. May 5th, I'm GMing a Star Wars game on Telltale Hearts, also for charity. Then following that week, Queer RPG, I played some Candela Obscura on a few months back, and that's finally coming out starting that week, I just heard. So excited about that. It was a very good time. I think that's it. Yeah, rah. Good luck.
I love how many people are playing Candela right now. I love it so much.
That was fun.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Much fun. And finally, Janie, it's you.
Hi, I'm Janie. Janie Potts 7575 on Twitter or Janie Potts on Blue Sky. And I'm not playing Candela, but if you have an opening, just let me know. But I am on Saturday. I have a game on a channel called Singularity where I'm playing a spy. A spy. And then on that same channel on Monday, I'm playing an alien game, Heart of Darkness, and then I'm back here.
Very cool. Fun. Everyone has such cool stuff they do. Well, just a couple of channel announcements before we close things out. I don't know why I'm gesturing like this. So, Salvage Union, sponsored by Leyline Press. Michelle, who is an amazing, speaking of Candela, amazing Candela player, is going to be GMing a mini-series of post-apocalyptic mechs and working together to build a future to be proud of. Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. British Standard Time. And there is a exclamation point Salvage Union thing for the chat. And then also today at 8 p.m. Eastern is another session of Roll for Luck. Join our long-running anchor show for the Sapphic homebrew world of Amalgarth with Girls Run These World founder Ryu as the Dungeon Mistress. So we are now going to do a raid into my wonderful, wonderful friends, Horde of Tales. So absolutely stick around for that. Give them a shout out, all the love, and we will see you next week. So have a good time, everyone. Bye.